This, my neighbor. I buy the radio, he has to buy the radio. I buy the cassette, he has to buy it. Oh, what a week.
What a week, man. What a week. Fucking, what do you have had? Complex week, my friend.
Testing Resolve. Resolve's tested.
Was Resolve tested?
Well,
Or kindness?
it's testing levels of kindness. It's hard to say. Like, will any lesson be learned? Probably not. Not from
No.
the other perspective, but mine definitely lessons were learned. Hard lessons. So learning to say no, it can be quite an effort.
And if you don't,
then the answer's always yes, regardless if you say no later on.
Well, that's actually worse. If you say no later on, then you'll get accused.
Yeah.
Like of no, but you've let me hurt you before. That's been the normal. What do you mean? What do you mean I can't take your money and rob you and treat you poorly?
Yeah,
this isn't acceptable.
Shit,
It's fucking. I got away with that for 15 years. Don't come at me with now that I'm confused. You're an asshole.
No,
it's a thing that people do though. Like with when we're transitioning from a way of being to another way of being. There's kind of three sets of people. There's people who, well, more than three, but
transition well, obviously.
Yeah, there's ones who transition well. There are ones who are like, no, don't be doing that. You're something's wrong with you. So you're doing, you must be going crazy or something like that.
You're not doing it my way.
Yeah. And then there are people who you meet, so they're the two old sets, ones who transition well, ones who don't.
Yeah, no problems. That's right.
And then, and mainly because literally you're just it's you're driving on the left side of the road and just all of a sudden you're driving on the right side of the road. I mean, they've got a reason to be confused.
Yeah.
And what's all this about then? It's confusing. And then there's but what you got to look out for is you kind of know them, and the ones who are hard to transition.
Well, they exhibit things that are expected.
But it's the ones who are new. So what reality often does when we're transitioning behaviorally, it'll do stuff where it'll throw some tests.
Yeah, of course.
So it might throw someone new in the mix, and you're like, oh, new person, and then it's like, yeah, but they've got the old behavior.
They got the old behavior, but they're new.
Do you really want it? And you're like, no. Often we've got to say no to reality more than even people,
Yeah.
Because reality is just dangles it back in front of you. You know how easy this thing is.
Here it is. It's the all new version. Now with twice as much psychopathy. Yeah.
Hunch. So when you're transitioning from being, saying yes to other people to saying yes to yourself, other people get upset about it.
They know like.
I don't pity them.
Well, rather them than yourself. Yeah, that's the way you always got to look at it, Si.
Oh, geez, that was not good.
The thankfulness of not being you, having to do it, they can be your great example, that the reason why you don't.
Yeah. I feel for them though, because I've had a few situations. Probably one of my most easy for me to see ones was, I had it in Sydney even, but when I went to Alice Springs, pretty
just been on display there.
Yeah, but pretty much the first sort of person I kind of engaged with there. Well, not first, but I lived with and things. They were an old pattern. And where the person who's really aggro, physically aggressive in a relationship, and which doesn't require a gender, to be violent in a relationship. The pussy holders are just as capable. Don't worry about that. But so I actually looked across the table from her. We were both drunk, and she's like, let's get it on. And I'm like, thank you, but no, I actually foolishly then said to her, because I was in a bit of a, that's, I sometimes get in my little sort of states, and I'm like, I actually told her that she was my pattern, and that I was going to decline. Yeah. And that she was aggressive and physically aggressive and things, and I didn't need that in my life anymore. Anyway, can you imagine how that went down?
Yeah. Oh, like lead pancakes.
Oh yeah, man. For years. She was my nemesis.
Held against.
Oh, very, very much. We have resolved that, and we have helped each other since then, and recognized the learnings we gave each other and all sorts of useful fucking hippie bullshit. But no, but it's good, important stuff. But in tune, yeah. We're hope for them. You've done a big thing this week. It's like all of your things that we've talked about on the Cheep, where you're the kind M.
Too kind.
Wiping your ass with their ass with your money type situations, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you've stood up now. You've said no.
Put the shirt on. Official.
No.
No.
Coot.
T.
No coot.
Yeah, no coot.
No coot. No cooties.
No coot. No cooties.
No.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, we don't want that. Yeah.
Take them cooties elsewhere. Last thing we need is cootie juices on our dishes, mate.
Cootie juices on the dishes.
I can't stand it. Cootie juices on my dishes.
I ended my Instagram today, pretty close to ended it, with the fucking weirdest video. It was landscape, and it was like a translucent kind of image of the hip area of a human being. And then lowering out of the translucent hips was a tampon.
Oh, okay.
And then the tampon lowers down out of the, and then tilts forward, gets fins, ignites, turns into a rocket weapon. Rocket flying forward. And you're like, oh, that's very different. And then for reasons unspecified, there's like a cheetah or a leopard or something. I think a leopard running. and then the
exploded.
tampon rocket hits the leopard and just
Just explodes it. Yeah.
explodes the leopard.
Happy fun times.
I didn't really know what to say at that point. I was
A bit blown away like the leopard.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was a bit blown away, just like the leopard.
Yeah.
And something dwarf. What is it called? What is it called? Disturbed
Red
dwarf.
dwarf. Oh, okay. Oh, disturbed.
I don't know. It was something
Barbie
dwarf.
interface.
Ben Dickey, the Bendican dwarf.
Oh, the one on, is that the one on the sitting on the tree stump? The one I said, sure. That was pretty smart. Dude just popping up out of the stump and then going for a march in the forest.
Oh no, this was like this human / bird / Sonic Hedgehog creature, like 3D animated, like doing its exercises in the park, and then this corporate fucking capitalist dude like sees it there, and then Pokemon captures the thing from behind the fountain, which is spied by Bendican dwarf, who then cartwheels through the air, down through the buildings onto the ground, and then enraged, a giant grows a monster penis and dick and balls say 10 times bigger than him, than the dwarf, and then proceeds to
DMB.
ream the corporate guy, and so that until he like kind of drops the Pokeball, and then releases the human
Special brand
Sonic creature, and then
Sonic
Bendican
Hedgehog
dwarf
creature,
and the strange creature do exercises together,
Mm.
while the separated penis and balls continue to sex unpleasantly, when probably non-consensually, the corporate dog who had to be taken down. I was like, well,
That's some good propaganda right there.
this is some different shit. This is some seriously different
extra
than new
tasty
world
propaganda.
Yeah, I had to go to the person's profile, and they had like it's not quite up to the level of it's not skibbity.
It's not skibbity.
No, but it's
What about the William S. Burroughs?
got a bit of Burroughs to it.
It's got a bit of Burroughs to it.
I think so. It's weird.
Everything morphing together and
Yeah, I mean, it's this whole realm of like
exchange of
Minecraft
juice.
/ Unreal Engine kind of crappy 3D animation that's just
Mind-warping.
sort of designed by adults, not really for children, but like targeting children with the most bizarre
notions of who knows what story it's trying to portray. Yeah.
I think
Cooking's done.
I see most of that stuff as sort of special, like weapons, actually militarized weapons that are designed to
Well, we were only talking about that earlier in the week.
Yeah, man, culture destroying weapons.
In disguise as social media outlets.
Yeah. Like there was this whole period of time. I mean, it still is. Like America was, did all of its actions, but against other countries. But other countries have done actions against America, and quite intensively. Like you look at all the cocaine war, like all the drugs coming in from.
And all you really need to do is back it, like have your little sponsors and give them money, and they just come flocking.
Yeah.
Look at OnlyFans during 2020. OnlyFans just exploded during that time because no one had any work to do, or people were put off work, and what's the next best thing to work? Showing your burger for the price of a burger.
If you think women get, I got to tell you, if you were a possessor of the burger, I don't know how much money you'd get for showing your dick online, but I can tell you, if you showed your burger online.
Well, someone was talking about the other day, something taking home $4 million a year on the burger.
Oh, that's why women are just flocking to it, because you may as well. So I started to get my algorithm to start showing me like much more OnlyFans content on Instagram.
Yeah.
I still get all the drugs and like counterfeit money and stuff, but I've got to go deeper.
Contraband, continuous exposure to contraband.
I think I sent you a few today. Like one was like a girl going, my goal for the next year is to
the gear stick.
The gear stick. Well, the gear stick, girl.
Gear stick or the handbrake? Which one do you choose?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
don't make it too wide ones.
She needs to do a Mack truck.
Boinking vehicles. That's her goal. Was to just, but then another girl who wanted her goal was 600 guys. She wanted to be fucked by 600 guys in a year.
Put down the slaying.
So she put application out and got 2,000.
2,000 applications. Yeah. Had to cull the numbers a bit. You know what I mean? Like there's no what is it? Dried out sauce. There's big deep wells for every time you post something like that. Everyone wants to be a star these days, don't they?
Well, yeah. And I mean, double dipping. She'd be charging them. You don't make no mistake. And plus.
Well, the deal with most of them, if they can't make content, then they charge. Yeah, that's the deal. So you can choose to be in the content and then free, or give the money and it's private. You still get a nice copy of it, but it doesn't go to the internet. Copy for safekeeping.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like there's just swamped. Like there are.
Oh yeah.
And chicks are like
there's 1,001 burgers on it. That's for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
like
but the irony
that's where the whole escalation, like to get the fans. Like I saw some chick, or the one you sent me with the chick pulling out that big tentacle and going, well, I'm a bit worried about this next project.
Don't make me put it up myself all the way. I'm scared.
Yes, right. Dude's like paying extra now.
I'm like,
15 minutes in. I wonder whether we're definitely pushing the edge here, brother.
Are we?
Well, to start, I guess. Well, it hasn't been anything rude.
We know it was anything rude.
Definitely pointing out, a bit of truth, dropping a bit of truth bombs. Yeah.
I mean, you can get shut down for the truth. That's for sure. I mean, censoring. You know.
If you're over honest, that's right. So occasionally you got to throw the old hobo in.
You
just for
do,
good
you do.
measure, you know.
Yeah. I mean, look, I mean,
Like Boner 19.
so the end result of women's liberation, all the efforts, all equal things, was that they just all decided to sell themselves for fucking sex. Well, half of them did, maybe not all of them. Some of them decided to become scientists and other things. But the
Do something
bulk,
practical.
bulk decided just to double down.
Well, it's easy, mate. I mean, how much study do you have to do? How much study do you?
Well,
Do you have to do any study?
well,
most of those people they got a
yeah, you
cameraman,
do. I mean, a lot don't. Most don't.
The primp,
But
they
you
got
really
the primp
should.
taking care of the camera shots and stuff. Making sure the money comes in.
Yeah, I guess like what people need to like in terms of when you say, oh, do they need, do you need training? Well, if you want to be, well, in some regards, yeah. I mean,
well, you start off as a novice normally, and then you only with
and you use that as like a
with
selling
volume. Only with volume do you become an expert. You know how to squeeze those toes together to get the max squirtings.
And that's where I suppose you could have a little training facility. It could be handy, perhaps.
Tricks, special teaching the tricks of the trade.
Like when you go to high school, like say, well, if you go to primary school, you go to school, and let's say you're a grade 1, and then a grade 6 or grade 7, depending on what state you're in, will be your buddy, and they'll lead you around the school and they'll show you all the things.
Show you all the facilities.
If you have any trouble,
where
then
stuff
they'll
is.
help you out.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I think that both males and females should also have that for sex. Like basically when you sort of like
you get like a mentor. You pick your mentor.
And men and women both. It's not like just women have to pick mentors. Like men have to pick mentors as well.
Yeah, true.
You get some like nice 35, 45, maybe whatever woman, just teaches you the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Selected.
Goes in here, comes out there. Special instruction.
And also just like, but not even goes in here and out there, but as well as. But also like expect like you need to at least be treated this way.
Yeah. Know when to put that right smile on and do the the special eyes looking up, tongue out mode or whatever they call it. Yeah. Know when to drop those little special key moments. Even even with the BBC tearing you a new one.
Oh yeah.
Knowing when to turn a grimace into a smile.
That's it
for the camera.
Yeah. Or when to grimace a little more.
Yeah.
So that it makes it happen.
Gives it that level of realism.
Yeah. And unless you get over the edge, that's what gets the person off, and you want to give it to them a little bit so they get it over and done with. You don't want to be there having to deal with that for an hour.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So just pretend you're being hurt a little bit. And just
Care now, pay later.
There's some.
But yes, it'd definitely be. I don't know if I could do it for a living. For me, it's just I'm happy just to work. I do a normal job.
Well,
normal's impossible.
Well, I mean,
could never see myself in that industry. I mean, I got upset. The ex sending pictures to other people. I found that offensive.
Yeah. Oh, hang on.
Private moments. Not for public consumption. Something going on.
No, not for. Yeah, you don't want. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, some people do. Look, I think.
Well, some people keep it as like a badge of honor. Here's my record. You know what I mean? Like here's the best of.
Oh, the best.
The best of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. I think we both knew this guy. It was a friend of like the animators, and was one of his friends. I thought, and he showed us his porn video. He'd made like a couple.
Best sharing is caring.
Well, the special honor videos, like you say, like
Here's my best moments. Here's the couple that I'm really proud of.
I mean, I think it's quite exceptional. It's like exceptional. I don't mean necessarily like that they're better than.
Consider it art, wouldn't you? It's
art. No, but like being able to get erect and everything, or even like say for a woman, like whatever, be able to like pre-cum or get your lubes up as a sexual creature in that kind of environment. With like all the things watching you, it's pretty impressive, man. Like,
not to have stage fright.
Like, I think even if I put my own camera up and like was just filming myself, like like you weren't doing it live, you weren't trying to be a porn star.
You'd need a fluffer. You need a fluffer. Like Caroline, Caroline the fluffer.
I'm trying to say that like the fluffer or the Caroline wouldn't work. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it would. Like if I put my dick out right now and started trying to jack off, I do not think it would succeed.
No. Well, it's the environment and the moment.
I think so. Yeah.
That's what dictates it, not just
I think
mashing the meat.
I think I need to be a fluffer.
You need to be a fluffer for a bit. Do some work experience.
I just
tell them you do it for free.
Well, it's also like because then the performance level's way down. Like as a fluffer, like you're not having to like make them calm or do anything. It's just sort of
no. It's just preparation or preparedness.
Sit there like rubbing the thing, and then sort of then I'll make him do his thing.
Get the good oil. Make sure you got the good oil going.
Yeah, rubbing the person. But I think a good place to start as is a fluffer because and maybe like in like a private scenario, like not necessarily like paid, like in the public sort of porn.
Oh, like hired for a night of fluffing.
Yeah. And so you're kind of the unicorn, you kind of behavior, but in that you learn to be comfortable with your own body because you're probably expected to be naked to do the fluffing or semi-naked. You're gonna have to see other people have sex, but so I think a lot of those kinds of things, like being in the space while other people are banging, and you then have getting over not looking at them. and being able to like go through all those like steps, like being able to look at
Being able to switch off, yeah.
or being able to look at somebody else in the eye while they're like, being fucked.
Well,
And
they're
you're like,
just,
oh,
you know,
yeah.
doing the biz.
That's
I mean,
like,
when
not easy,
in that
but-
environment, like it's just business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not there
Could,
to.
I mean, holding some other girl's head, like, and stroking her hair and going, oh, he's fucking you well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what, as a task,
Yeah,
like, it's like,
pulling
and getting
the hair
little
back,
things
that's it,
going, doing something for her, like, that she wants.
Slapping the face.
Yeah, well, so he
spitting
can
on it.
focus on the task, you know, like, and extra bonus points can be given. But I think all those things, like, to look someone in the eye who's not your person, and it's not to like become like super able to do it with everything, but it's actually, I think, like, to be able to like, it's about becoming comfortable. Like, I don't know, like, a lot of that stuff, like, and so that, because then not to just so that you can become the god of orgies, but rather so that when you're with your actual partner, you know what
You've got multiple techniques you can pull from.
techniques, and also just like comfort, just comfortableness, like, just like, you know, not like, oh,
No pressure.
Yeah, because you're just like, yeah, and I've seen all the things.
Because I think that's a lot of
Pooping on the
times when
table.
you're getting busy. It's the pressure thing. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of times that's where men can fail because the pressure's too much and it's just overwhelming.
And I mean, the art there is like learning how to not be tense,
How to be relaxed and just
how to be relaxed, and
keep that semi going.
do the knitting while doing the knitting while doing the threading.
That's right. Yeah.
Threading and knitting at the same time.
Cross one, stitch one. Too good.
Yeah, and I think like once you've maybe done fluffing, like as a person, like once we've maybe fluffed for like 6 months, maybe that's like where we start.
What do you think the career, the progress, like what would you move up to after fluffer? The one that gets maybe the equipment ready, like the preparation of equipment and stuff, like accessories.
I think no. So I think like after fluffing, surely the next step in this sexual sort of like development
Is to join in on the fray.
Yeah, and so the first part would be to be the receiver in some regard,
to
and
get
then,
used to the receiving and then
so
to
you
go
know
into the
that,
contributing.
and then that's right.
Level of expectation when the fluffer comes up, got to get that.
Well, I
level
mean, and
right.
that'd be the final level. It would be like
rhythm
like a Cert 5, like you sort of like when you're like
Good
a cert,
grip, you know what I mean?
like maybe the Cert 4. I mean, Cert 4, well, Cert 5 is like a
Cert
managed.
4,
Cert 4 you can train others, but not
in the
can
fluffing technique.
Yeah, in the fluffing technique. Yeah, so that's where you would, and then beyond that, yeah, and that would be like a sort of like me. I get to the Cert 4, maybe a classed as a diploma, like when like a train the trainer.
Diploma in HJs.
Successfully bringing other people to orgasm,
Well, that's it.
and being able to receive,
To finish a project.
because like
To be able to start and finish a project. That's
right.
it, you know?
Yeah. I think at like that point too, like you just be able to do things like, if someone, because you don't want to be like, so let's say like, you flip it around and go, okay, like imagine like you're a guy, you're starting out, you're like, whatever, we'll just say you're 19 as opposed to 16, just because it's fair. Like, you're 19
Straight out of schoolies.
at schoolies, yeah.
Yeah. Get your first experience.
Your first
bit of
experience.
yeah.
But then you're like fumbling that because you don't really know,
Well,
and all this
it
kind
is
of stuff.
the
You're
first
like, oh,
time.
sorry, and
You might have mucked around a little bit, doing your prodigies when you were growing up, but
you might have, but
you know,
let's say
when
like
you
a girl,
when you get down to
blowy.
business and you're on camera, then you know.
But even if you're like 19 and you're not on camera and nothing like that, and then some girl's giving you, and she's also young, she's all like, oh, I'm gonna go down on you, and you're like, oh yeah, good. But then you don't really know how to receive that or whatever, and so then you don't really come
Extra excitement, 2-minute noodle.
or no noodle.
Or no noodle whatsoever.
And then she's like, oh, is this right or wrong? And you could wreck something like
confusion,
an aspiring cocksuckers, like,
There we go.
like
There's
opportunity.
an hour of tape we're not going to get back.
Well, because those first moments, like your first couple of sexual experiences and stuff like that.
Well,
It's not just if you're a
they're
good
fairly
cocksucker,
critical
but
to the steering of.
yeah. So you're down there
What you
thinking, oh,
doing?
guys
Yeah,
like that, and then they don't do it because they don't really know how to receive that, and then you're like, oh, maybe no, and then you turn it off, and and we've lost another valuable asset in the sexual community of humanity. That could be giving fantastic blowjobs and just and alas ruined by some
Forever ruined.
holder of the penis, like who didn't know what they were doing. So there's a responsibility. Like people like yourself, for example, I feel like have
You
a
need to take it
responsibility,
seriously,
don't you? I mean, you've got skills, practiced,
Definitely a lot of hands-on work.
So there's a responsibility, and it doesn't have to be
A
like
level of
weird thing.
expectation. Correct.
And it's not like a boyfriend girlfriend. It's
Well,
a
I'd be
trainer,
offended.
it's a
Like if
mentor.
I was an actor and then it just wasn't getting fluffed well enough, I'd be offended. I'd be asking for the next fluffer.
You would.
to
But would the
satisfy.
fluffer ask for the next guy if he couldn't get it? If you couldn't get it up?
Possibly. I just there's no pleasing this one.
Yeah.
We tried the smoke and a pancake and the bong and a blintz, and he just didn't want it. There was no go.
No go.
Yeah.
So because I think
What can you say? Did my best. Next.
Yeah. So I feel like as I say, like if it was like no one wants to like either way unless you're like I don't know, but you don't want to date. You don't actually want to date people who are like 20 if you're like 45 or something.
No.
Because it's just tedious unless it's
Too much training.
No, but that's why it's actually like let's say it goes for 3 months and it's like a 3-month sort of internship or like a traineeship, maybe 6 months. But it's not about like you're not together, and you're just there to train them.
Work environment. That's it.
Yeah, it's a work environment.
Yeah.
Train them up over 6 months.
Strict training schedule.
And at the end of 6 months, you've got to part ways. There's no like, oh no, but I really do
No, well
like
then
you.
you
It's like,
sign
oh,
off
no.
on their ability to be
That's
able
it, sign
to
off.
do
Yep.
do it, you know,
Yep.
and then basically they get their accreditation. Get the field experience, you know,
Yep.
do a couple of movies, then maybe
Yeah,
go,
and
maybe go for their training license as well, or training upgrade to their certificate.
I think like like that's it. And then as opposed to like just that you not just that the person is then going out equipped to be able to give pleasures, but be able to receive pleasures and know what pleasure is, so that when somebody's lame,
They can point it out. That's right. You can instantly be ostracized and beaten heavily with
yeah, sorry, we don't.
the giant purple dildos.
Yeah, 6 orgasms or don't come around here, boy.
Yeah, true. That's it. Oh, you want to get to that level where you're like a one man Bukaki kit, you know? Hello. Cat has arrived. Wet. Oh, no, not good. Wet cat. Unless it's the other wet cat. No, that's good. I like it. Hello. You're all wet.
Is it raining up there as well?
Yeah. Been raining pretty much on and off all day today. Definitely not camping weather.
No, down here you it would be displeasing in a tent. You would be or any kind of camping.
Most egregious.
Oh, you'd be bailing out water, I think. Right, now the pie is cooked.
Sai has dinneroonskis.
And I think that like
Yeah.
because you provide like that first 3 to 6 months of like a person's sexual experience in a sort of like a training environment, with accredited trainers, it provides the environment to like actually ask questions and things as well. Yeah,
True.
Is this is this doing the right thing? You sort of
Can
stop
it
and
be
have
done
a
better? Is there another technique? You know, is there a certain wrist technique that can be deployed to
Rub the nub.
aid in the rubbing of the nub? You know, should I have one long fingernail so I can get right down there if necessary?
Well, yeah, you don't want it snapping off though, hey.
No. Definitely want to be sort of solid, like a definite probably not a fingernail, but more attached to the finger. You know what I mean, like ping longer.
Oh, like a
Special ping longers.
I saw like a actually interesting set the other day on an ad, and they were like, it was like rainbow kind of cat claws.
Oh, okay.
And so it was like, so you could have like a set of human claws, but they were very bulky, like more like a, how do you describe that? You know, like where the
Hulk smash fists.
More like sort of like a dog nails than cat nails.
Masturbating. Yeah.
Cat nails sort of are more. They don't come up. Sorry, they don't come up out of the finger and down. You know, like it's sort of like a. They'd sort of like come off. I think you make them a less intensive. But they'll be more. I think these things looked like claws, like big kind of maybe even dinosaur level.
Oh, okay.
Claws.
Raptor.
Yeah, actually a bit more raptor claws.
Raptorish.
Yeah. Not the thumb of the raptor, just the general finger.
Just but the clawy looking things. Yeah. Not the ripper thumb.
No, that's you got to bring your own if you want to rip a thumb. That's
Yeah. Must supply own. Yeah. Optional extra at what do they say? With warnings attached. That's right. Play with particular thumb may be hazardous to health.
Are army disposals still a thing?
Army disposals, yeah. But they're few and far in between. Most of them are converted into camping stores, like all the different camping stores.
But a camping store is quite different to an army disposal.
Hunting, boat and fishing.
Oh yeah, like BCF and things.
Fucking bonking, shitting.
But the army disposal often was. Oh, I see it. Army disposal stores.
Well, they're not disposal anymore. They're like army outlet. So they produce new stuff. There's no, the good old days of where you actually got real field gear and clothing. Yeah, no, that's no more. You buy it new now. Most of that
Surplus City,
gone.
Sydney.
So
There's a military disposal and camping store. Parramatta's a long way. There's like an online one that doesn't make sense.
Because we got one here in was it Mount Omni?
Oh no, yeah. Right. There's one in Sydney out of Parramatta.
And I think there's another one on the north side near Nogra.
Is it still there? I wonder if it's still
surplus place. I don't know. They change hands.
Cadet webbing set, 8-point harness, 2 bottles, pouch, belt, utility, sold out.
Comes with 2 free grenades of your choice.
Army and cadets.
Fragmentation recommended.
Oh yeah. Camouflage, balaclava, Ozcan.
That's it.
Yeah, there's not much stuff.
Get yourself your Kanye West base mapping zoot suit.
The Australian Army khaki leather GP boot, limited sizes. I didn't realise this, but the Australian Army boot is green.
It's only when we went overseas into Afghanistan and that when they were yellow and shit. But yeah, mostly green here, not black. Black stands out now. Green sort of blends in.
Oh, Trailblazer, response gear, suede, waterproof, and sold out.
Some good stuff. I keep getting a lot of that armysurplus.com.au or army kit gear or whatever it is ads popping up on my YouTube at the moment.
Aussie disposals.
I don't pay. So unless YouTube's paying me, then I won't pay.
Clothing, accessories, dog tags.
Get your own dog tags with your personalised name on it.
You shouldn't be able to get
Hugh genitals.
Australian Army stretcher, ADF.
Nice. Do they do MREs?
Good question. Military.
They have to. I think most of them do. Special.
Well,
long distance food.
No
MRE.
I don't think so. Wait.
Oh, bummer.
Hunting.
They've probably got a separate division for it. The food stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking around to see where the food might be.
Freeze dried shit.
I don't think they do. No, I think these mob. No. Well, no. No food. MRE.
Food, no.
MREs. Here we go. The Aussie Storm Shop. Freeze dried meals. MREs. MRE Australia. Here we go.
That's shit. Fairly reasonable.
On track. Yeah, right.
Some of them like insta heat, like you pull a little thing and then it heats up. Uses like a heating strip.
Flameless heater bags.
30 seconds later, a minute later, it's boiling.
Coconut ginger chicken, $12.
Bam.
Wow.
Good travel bonus. Like if you're going for a bit of a trip,
check it
you're
out.
on the road. Bam. Better than roadkill. I mean,
Ready
roadkill's
in
fresher, but depends on whether you just run it over or not.
Ready in minutes. What do you do?
Pull a little strip and then place it. Do not place
add
on
water.
lap and away you go. Boom, yeah.
Really? Wow. MREs have come a long way.
They're not these things where you got to pull out your little container and your little cooker, your little oil cooker or whatever, or your what do they call them, the old paraffin cooker.
This is add boiling water and everything.
Oh, did you see that special thing that I sent to you with that device that dude made, which was separating hydrogen and water to make the little flame thing, the cooker? That's pretty cool. Whether or not it was real, but yeah, that's very cool. Half the time, you just don't know.
I looked at that, I was like, fake, and just moved on immediately. But then I thought about it, and like you can actually have like things that catch fire in water. It's a thing.
But a lot of times there's a normal gases leaking up and below, like there's
that happen naturally.
Or there's a bit of spill, like
there's particular. No, I mean like you can mix the chemicals together that will.
the one with the toothpaste and that to get the onion burning.
No, but not that. I mean, I've seen other things like
that was pretty cool.
There's some things that ignite in water.
Or sodium. Sodium likes to dance.
And I think like MREs.
Very special.
Closing to the realm.
So I'm not very crazy tonight. I'm very reserved and kicking back after a
big week.
Hell of a week. Yeah.
Well,
the stories people like to spin.
The stories people feel obliged to spin or need or
sharing the unnecessary.
Well,
I mean, strangely enough, Si, it would seem most people do. They want to hear about your pain, but they don't want to share in your pain. You know what I mean?
Well,
they're happy to hear about it and take notes and compare, but they don't really want to share it, do they?
Well, a trouble shared is a trouble doubled.
True. Two minds thinking about the same issue.
Yeah, like actually it just expands it. And trouble, like down things want more. They feed off that. So like a trouble will like run you out of energy, so it needs a new fucking victim.
Yeah. This one's empty. Move on to the next. This one's a dead horse or a dead moose.
And that's often when people come to you, not just us, like a person will come to another person with the trouble. Yeah. Is when they're starting to run out of energy about it. It's like, oh, can you fucking feed this thing for me?
Make me feel better about myself and make the thing that I'm annoyed about, make it even more annoying. Yeah.
Because you got to kill the trouble.
Yeah, off a cup of tea, always a good one. Cup of tea settles trouble. Like it's like, oh, thanks, I needed a cup of tea. Yeah, I saw. And here's the Snickers too. So double down.
Really satisfy you.
Yeah. No trouble after that.
Drive off peacefully into the sunset in someone else's car. Yeah.
Life of the leisurely. I couldn't do it myself. Like it's just thinking of things to do when you got nothing to do. You know what I mean? Like well, unstructured existence. It's nice to just cut loose every now and again, but having a pattern is, it works a lot more efficiently than randomness. Like randomness is okay for that little odd occasion, but yeah, the pattern is what works.
Well, it's the whole thing about ways of being. That's why religion
break on through to the other side.
Well, this bunch of people have found that with this way of being is like really successful. You manage to live a little longer and by doing this set of things, and they invite you to do the same thing. Because we all do the same thing around here. We don't want to be different, don't want to do a different thing.
You don't want to stand out. You don't want to be different.
Wow.
You all want to have the same armband,
Because we're doing it the right way.
And it's very important for our democracy that you do the right way too.
That's right.
Yeah. As long as we got it. As long as we get the point,
Be appropriate.
There's still a bit of seethe going on from the people who've spoken in America.
Is it?
It is petering off. It is petering off, which is good. So
people are giving up. Going back to
well, you can only scream for so long, and then you got to take a breath.
The great breath of America. What will happen?
Well, depends on
we'll find out.
The little scuffle going on in the Ukraine, I guess.
Well, does it? Is that where it's going to come down to? I mean, that's what it's been set up for. One of its purposes.
Moving all the right players into the right position.
But aren't we meant to we're pretty much
yeah. Good night.
That's really cool. Like Israel's only just started. Like it hasn't really even got like the full grind going yet with Hezbollah.
Well, they're on a short break. They're on a 60-day hiatus.
Quit.
Yeah, there was a little agreement for the.
Hezbollah was running out of weapons. They needed to get some more.
Yeah, they need to get restocked. That's right. So there was the timeout was called.
Yep.
For the
UN said no, hang on. We've just got to get more weapons to these guys. Otherwise,
sticks and pitchforks on their side. So we just got to send them a few more sticks and pitchforks and those beloved torches.
And I suppose because you wanted to have that sort of spread a little bit. But let me just bring up a little map for myself. I'll just inspect a world map briefly.
Because there's still a good amount of territory there for, what's that word? It's not. We don't call it colonization anymore. We call it expansionism.
Wow, what's happening to the map? It's not
Map's going a bit out of control, has it?
apparently.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our AI overlord.
Yeah, I have no image data on my mapping system.
Mm.
It's moving me around all the invisible locations.
Yeah.
Very handy. I think you want the war or the conflict zone.
Mm.
It needs to like get across whatever the ocean is or the sea to the south of Ukraine. We need to link that up. And
Yeah.
I mean, usually I think Iran's meant to be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're mouthing off and stuff. I
A little bit of
understand.
stoking going on, yeah.
But it's very preliminary.
Mm.
And so it seems a little early to like call, like have to call it on Ukraine.
Mm.
I don't think they want to. I'm not. I mean,
Well,
I think they might be.
they got a little bit of buffeting, though.
Buffeting.
Yeah, but you know, the Truth Justice Union, you know, helped them out a little bit. You know, deploying extra satellite coverage for deeper penetrations.
Is that Starlink or like for
Oh, no,
comms,
I
or is
think
it like a
it's
military?
yeah, military stuff. Though.
Oh yeah, right.
MIGSAT.
Well, I got to make sure that wheat's still burning.
Mm.
You know, want to keep all those wheat fields over in the eastern side of Ukraine like suppressed.
Just flaming. That's it. Yeah.
You know, salt it all, ruin it, destroy it.
Salt and sulfur always does this. Salt and
Just dig that into the ground, mix it in, get it. Try and like. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you wouldn't want that to peter out or something like that. We need that to link up and become a front of conflict.
Coming in behind it, like pushing, making it smoke out the enemy, smoke them out with the wheat smoke.
The enemy.
Well, you know, opposition. We won't call that enemy. Just say opposition. You know,
I mean, we're the enemy.
Opposition to freedom.
Well, I think that's actually interesting when you say it, and the way I like how you phrase that, the opposite, you know, the freedom, because
it's purely subjective, you know.
No, but humans are the thing. We are the problem. Like the thing that's making it. Like we've got to solve ourselves. We've got to solve it. And
lessons in getting over oneself.
Yeah, basically on a group level and on a singular and group level, and that's you know we so there's units that need to be sacrificed as part of that.
Pornages, you know, cannon fodder.
Yeah, which is just anybody really at the moment. I mean, in terms of if you look around the world and you think about countries that need the most modification to get to the required sort of
levels.
Yeah, the new way of being, which is sort of like local sustainable food and manufacturing that's distributed, like all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Food for all, and then I mean, there's some places in the world which are like less equipped for it.
No,
and some
they're not
more.
No.
Like Australia's
in that
pretty
area
good.
is not good. Yeah.
Like food wise and everything. Like we can't make refrigerators, but we can make food. We can probably learn. We can probably figure out how to make refrigerators again.
Do it the old-fashioned way.
Probably need to. Well, I don't know that Australia.
Clay beehives, you know.
I don't know if Australia actually has enough people to be considered like worth putting factories here, because they'd have to be we'd have to have very small factories.
Like micro stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, a generation of factories I think we possess as a species yet. So I don't know if Australia will have like a lot of the manufacturing.
Deployable micro factories, like mobile or something, so they can move.
Well,
around
we have talked about the ones
where
on
they need
ships where it basically just comes in and deploys. But I think it was maybe it was last Cheep, like talking about the value of being a 3D printer. Like
in
I was
whatever
thinking about it this week
materials
too.
required. That's it. Yeah.
Well, I was looking around, like, so I've been doing this project at the moment, and I'm looking across like all the schools in New South Wales and like studying their patterns and so forth. And as a result, I'm seeing a lot of small communities.
Yeah.
Like there's much more small communities than there are large communities, and some of them look really nice. Like literally, I look at some of these places and I'm like, wow, it would have been really cool to be a kid there. You know, like it looks like it would have
To
been
grow
really
up in that area. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been very validating. It's a human experience. I
Collecting the data, the early datas.
Yeah, about how and but I started thinking about like future stories, you know, like say for example, like coming into like as I was going through. So if there's like all these like there's schools in all these small places, then that must mean there's some kind of locally kind of IT person around the area. Otherwise, you wouldn't really, you know, there'd be trouble that you don't want to
keep the connections. Yeah,
you don't have to drive someone into some distant community in New South Wales just to do a task.
You'd hope that someone provides those services locally.
Yeah.
Elsewise, someone who services that area.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like going out there and going, oh yeah, I'm an IT guy, probably isn't really very useful. And it's sort of like I was thinking about it, like what would be a thing that, like if you were to go to like an area, and what I thought about was actually being a print shop, you know, like parts, basically a 3D print shop where you come out to like an area, small community, you know, like a series of small communities, and the thing you bring out isn't being a plumber, your trade or whatever you bring out, is that you can just print out any part. So someone comes in and they need a manifold for their tractor, or you know, like an old, like instead of having to ship it in from Japan, you can just
they just take the pattern and then out comes a product equivalent with the
pick it up
same
this
material.
Afternoon, you know, Frank. Yeah, no worries. No, good, thanks. And I think that would be a really valuable thing. And so you'd go out there with the skills and you'd have the machines to print. But I think the real modern solution would be the thing to solve is where you go out to one of those communities and you actually start to you complete the loop. Basically, you take materials from there, like the things that you're printing
is localized from materials that have been recycled from the general area.
Basically you just go down the tip and just, you know, pick up a bunch of whatever, and
that goes in the little grinder machine and then creates the you know, plastic, the powder or whatever, which is going to be converted into the thing.
Metals, and I think that would be really cool. Like you imagine out in those communities and there's like older cars and older things and
things that are basically no longer, even the manufacturers stop producing the parts for it. That's it.
I think that would be a really valuable role. You know, like I was even thinking about like yourself or myself, like, you know, becoming that sort of like that homeless mode, and then you know, leaving
The
the
little
city.
the touring fix-it dudes that can print the stuff and
Print the
make
stuff
the
and
things and
and maybe you got like you've got a scanner and tolerances and stuff, and you can like the software, and so someone can bring in a busted part, and then you can like
you basically just scan the busted parts and then put it back together as a full part, and then actually do the process of printing it all out. Yeah. No, that'd work. Like the only thing is like costing, like to be able to run the equipment to do the manufacturing of the thing, to break it down so the costing was, like you said, you know, recycling the local materials or, you know, minerals, or hitting the, you know, the local tip, and then just scabbing up all the things you need to make to whatever it is, you know, the different materials, doing the breakdowns of that with the machine, you know, the energy required to do that, and then to re-extrude it, you know.
Oh, it can be very high. Yeah, recycling's folly generally.
Yeah. Once that was brought down to a position where it was super cheap just to throw a handful of shit into that, and then boom, out it comes. Yeah, and you're just running it off solar panels or whatever, so you don't even have to tap in. Yeah.
You want like you know how like there's like gears and steppers, various other things that leverage.
Of course.
You want something that does that with like solar or heat, like so. Like imagine like a tiered magnification system. So instead of needing to have like a massive array, focusing it all on one point to get real hot, what you have is like some kind of dragonfly looking, or maybe like the opposite, kind of like a collector that's made of like lenses.
Or focusing sunlight into the
like a basically a small version of like a
microforge. Yeah.
Microforge, and you can just drop whatever in there, it just melts.
It'll melt it and then reconstitute it back into the shape or design or
like,
whatever it's
would that work
squared
if you
out
had
onto,
if you focused 5 rays of the sun through one lens so that they all combined?
Oh, it'd be cracking. Like people are doing the rock breaking with Fresnel lenses from old backlit TVs, taking that Fresnel out and then just melting rocks with it. Easy enough to do.
By lensing it.
Yeah.
And focusing the whole Fresnel energy.
Yeah. Fresnel energy into the one position on the rock, and then
BFE.
Kaboom. Take that. Stick that sunlight in your smoke into your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, look, I think there's something in that, like where I think that's the answer. Like basically on the consumptions on the collection side, yeah, you want to have a thing like a microforge, micro kiln, basically that just melts the
whatever's been put in. No, you can adjust it so that between, you know,
a certain
turning it to vapor, or just you know, so you can go all the way up to metals, and you know, all the way down to plastics and that. So and everything in between, obviously.
Yeah. Well, plastics are an interesting one because still to this day, most plastic, you know, something like a client of mine pointed out to me the other day that you know, you go to Coles or wherever and you get meat and it's in a tray.
Oh, in the container, yeah. Container
with like
meat.
a plastic, you know, little heat sealed, you know, sealed top,
little black moisture patch on the bottom of it.
Perhaps, yeah. Those trays generally are not recyclable. You know, like we chuck like the strawberry one in or whatever, like, you know, you get a bunch of strawberries, that plastic container probably isn't recyclable. Like there's like so much plastic still which isn't recyclable.
Yeah.
I think that the thing is like that with plastic that we try to make a heat scenario to melt it or whatever. I think another way with with plastic though is to grind it into a powder
and then reapply it with glue to make up the.
Because I think the thing you want to do with plastic, I guess, is though heating does do this, is to
the only problem when you heat it is when you break the bonds, you create those microplastic vapors.
Yeah.
Which are dangerous as hell.
Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah, that would be, wouldn't it?
Not sort of stuff you want to mess with on a continuous basis. No.
Interesting.
I like saying no.
Yeah. Hey? It worked for you today, didn't it?
Yeah.
Have you received any texts or anything else like nothing?
No, nothing. All quiet on the Eastern Front.
Yeah, I mean, it's after you've said no, it's like, what do you do? Like, how do you make the person do the thing now? Like,
well, the answer is no, regardless. Yeah.
No, because the thing is, like what we talked about last night, like in some of the things, in some bits of it, we're around how, like, you know, maybe a background actor comes in and tries to be bully boy or something like that, you know.
Oh, the friend.
You know, and like it's the final tactic. Like, there's not much left. Like, there's basically now strong arm. Like, that's all that's left because all the other.
Well, even irrespective. I've always been someone. If you try and strong arm me, then the answer is definitively no. There is no any other answer.
And a person who's deciding to strong arm definitely needs to make an assessment on whether that's going to be successful or not.
Yeah, true.
And you know, I think the intelligence, like as in like the not the IQ, but like the military intelligence, you know, would tell any actor that that could be difficult. You know, that's not like a trivial undertaking with a Sinshu. The Sinshu
pretty much set in stone. Once it's written in stone,
won't respond to
there's no adjusting afterwards.
Mr. You know, coming around because Mr. Friend probably isn't really capable of achieving that task. Now, like there is a scenario which has happened to me. Like I've turned up at my place and there were 3 blokes in the house,
ready to
make sure that to make sure that what the other person in the house wanted was going to happen. You know, you know, my things were going to be taken, and that was how it was going to be.
Yeah,
and I didn't want to have and if I tried to debate them, they were going to make sure it wasn't. So that is a thing.
Mm.
However,
No, I get it.
in certain communities, and especially where you've come from another location to this location,
Mm-hmm.
your ability to rustle up a bunch of troops with whatever your lie is
It's
probably
greatly diminished.
very diminished, very diminished.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and all those other ones that the front runner brings to the occasion. They none of their, you know, none of them going to be interested. Like, you know,
No,
people who live out, fuck off. You know,
no,
not going to help out.
They got more. They got bigger and better adventures to go on.
Yeah, they've been there. They've already had their fun times. Fun times have been had.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing more to be had there.
No, it's just basically, you know, grinding the same ground.
So there's not a lot that can be done at this point. You've kind of like,
no, just accepting.
got to do
Getting
it.
that general acceptance that that's the new norm. Is the no.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose the next thing will just be like, because you didn't. I mean, I guess you still have Monday off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, there you go. Because that'll probably be the next thing. Like imagining you don't, and then just turning up Monday and then being watered again.
Because it doesn't matter to me. The answer is always going to be no. And even if I do come home and there has been an entry, there will be an exiting.
That's the difficult bit.
Unceremonious exiting.
Yeah, but that's the difficult bit. Because it's actually difficult to remove a person from your house. It's actually pretty hard.
No, not really. Just take all their shit and just throw it out the front. It's pretty much the easiest way.
Yeah, I mean, they run
Well,
after
you know, I sorted it out with the old Bippala Boppalo, you know. Not that I'd ever resort to it, you know, unless it was...
No, but that's what it does. It does. Like, they're just clinging to the couch. You know, you try and ask them to stand up. They don't.
Screaming.
They just don't stand up. You try to touch them and try to suggest.
Screaming.
The screaming begins. Like, it's just a fucking... You don't, like, once things are in your house, like, that's the whole, like, this crossing the threshold, like, and welcomed in, and then, you know...
Well, isn't that when you call 000 and get the medical check done? Please come quickly. You know, person seems to be behaving irrationally and may need assistance in you know, handing over medication for calmness.
It's hard.
You always get the welfare check. Welfare check is not a problem. No.
Have you ever spoken to anyone who's been a landlord about like somebody who decided not to pay rent and shit?
I know it can be difficult.
You know,
near impossible.
Near impossible. Months
near
can
impossible.
pass.
Yeah.
They come in like it's crazy. Like it's getting people out of places is very hard. It's easier just to keep them the fuck out, like really, because once they're in, because the society we live in, you're de-toothed. You know, like it's easy to get someone out of the place. You just fucking grab them by that neck and hurl the
drag their ass out the front.
You drag them out screaming.
Footpath. That's it.
That's what you do. It's solved. And then you're assaulting. That's assault. You can't fucking get someone out of your house. So that we're denuded as a society of being able to defend ourselves. It's you're not allowed to defend yourself. Like you can't. It's so hard.
But you're using the wrong language, Si. You were saying dragging them out. Like you say no. I'm not. I'm relocating them for their best interest.
Yeah, but as soon as you touch somebody, it just can't. Like it's stupid. From the children up, we've really done a number on ourselves.
Yeah.
Like you know, in a workplace, you know, someone's like stolen from the till. Well, you have to have like a mediation and like a fucking you know, prove it. You got to. It's just
show cause.
Yeah, trying to fire them like for robbing you, and you're like you're the guilty one trying to like you know, they're like, oh, you bastard corpo. Yeah. And that's just the interesting thing. I think that's the whole thing around the vampire and you know, they have to be welcomed in but once you've welcomed the vampire into your house, like
near impossible to remove.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess at this point the most likely scenario is just vanishing again into the thin air, even more so.
Poof.
Pretty much. Can't get any money, got to go elsewhere.
That's it. This hunger ain't gonna feed itself, you know.
Got needs. Bitch, I got needs.
I need to be some of that. Give me that.
So you gotta go and get me some things. Papa got needs.
That's it. I got a brand new bag. I gotta fill that bag up. For them needs.
Papa's bag needs filling.
Papa's bag needs that filling.
Because you know how you feel once Papa empties himself into you. That's right. Hey, you know how you feel. Queen of the world.
Get all those videos done in one night.
Video evidence. I was thinking of all the other things that like could be like for example like no clot, like so you just bleed out, or like no clit, or no coot, you know, so no old people. You know?
For the spelling on the shirt.
Yeah. You know, no cart.
Yeah, cart.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of that sort of.
It could be multiply interpreted.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
NT can't. No,
can't. No.
Yeah, there you go.
Can't
do it. Sorry, no, can't do it.
No, can't do it. Full stop. There's a full stop in there somewhere.
I think there is a full stop.
Yeah. Terminator.
3 full stops if necessary. Donk is final, just like the judge's hammer. Three taps on the table and it's final.
Here's a question: if you had a product that you could sell for $10 a use, let's say $10, but and you had 1 million clients,
Mhm.
potentially you could spend $10. So you could do $10 million. Yeah.
Mm.
So then there's another question, which is like, how much money do you need to make from this adventure, per year?
Mhm.
Do you need to make $10 million? Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, that would be great. But do you need to make?
Optimally, yes. Yeah.
And like, what if
you
you
got
could
your ceiling
make?
and you got your minimum buy.
What if you could make $600,000, or $1.2 million, like instead of 10 million?
Mm.
You could make a tenth of the money.
Yeah.
Like do you
Tenth of
need
the
that?
effort.
Yeah. Well, maybe not, maybe. But it was just interesting. It's just interesting looking at data and thinking about things like, and how easy it is to like move a product, and basically also I think how much money you need to make. And I think there's a lot of like goal around like maximizing versus like asking what's really required. Like let's say you had a product and you could make it for like you made money, that was all good.
The plastic widget.
The plastic widget, and it's well, widget wise,
Quintessential item, as seen on TV.
only lasts a year.
Yeah, cool.
You rebuy it.
Short shelf life. That's it. You'll need to get another one.
You will.
Once it sort of
But
diminishes
you can
in
use it every
quality
day.
from usage. Yeah.
I just so if I go to people and they're like, oh, the $10 thing, like, but if I went to somebody and said, I've got this thing and it's going to cost you like 10 cents per person, or whatever, like, oh geez, that's like, it's just interesting. Like I just like basically like in looking at like all of these businesses and then just going, well, there's 6,200 that identify directly as like clients.
Yeah.
So if you charge them $100 each,
Potentially you make the
600 grand.
Yeah.
600 grand for 6,000 clients. Some of those people, I think there's like maybe even it could be two tiers, like $100 and $200. Now, like the other way, like that person with 100 would be like maybe be saving, even like $900,000, like thousands of dollars a year, thousands of dollars. Like something that was $200 was maybe like $5,000 instead. Like so, they're saying like $4,800, like massive savings.
Yeah.
And so you're like, in terms of like a competitor going, oh well, I want to make all this money, but you go, well, I only need to make this money. Like imagine opening like a pub.
Only covering what your cost and your obviously what you want to make.
Yeah, whatever that might mean. Yeah, like imagine opening a pub and instead of trying to like maximize the amount, you were like, well, I reckon we'll get like our expenses are like this much, 10,000 a week, and we'll have 1,000 customers, and that
basically burnt every bit of alcohol we got there because it's at reduced rates than the other pub down the road.
Yeah, you could just be charging like a way cheaper price, basically. And then inadvertently you'll just make more money, wouldn't you?
Overall, yeah. Yep.
And
because you're being encouraging your clientele by having a cheaper product. That's right. So really, what kills a facility or a provider is value for money.
Value.
Especially these days,
Well, it does, and oh wow, that person's lips. Oh, they're animated. And it's an interesting thing. Like, okay, like if I go into a place and you're like, okay, I got this really good thing, and I teach you all how to use it and stuff like that. It's gonna cost like $10 a seat, and you got 500 students. It's only once a year you can use it. And then you go in and you go, well, it's $200. Like they don't even have to think about it. Like they just go, oh, bam. We don't even need to get approval for $200.
No, that's right. It's well within the budget. Boom, done.
Great. So you go from this whole like complicated sell to like, oh, it's petty cash.
Pretty much.
And then, but you've got enough clients that equals one, somewhere between, like maybe like $1 million.
Yeah.
Because you just made it cheap.
Exactly. And by being more affordable, then a lot more people can play, not just people who can afford that.
Is way shorter.
Don't. Book us in.
I think there's this thing of like marrying, like looking at like what you need, and then the market that you have that's addressable, and then matching, like seeing what the value you can give to them at a point, as opposed to what the market will bear. Like who cares if you can sell a house for $2 million? Like if what it's worth and what you can value, like functionally at, is like much less than that. Then just sell it, like crash the market.
Sell it for that price. That's it. Yeah, and you'll turn things over a lot quicker. Yeah.
And the expectation, like if you sell somebody $1,000 or $5,000 product, $10,000, $100,000 product, man, they're gonna have like questions. They're like, if it doesn't work, you sell someone $100 product, they're like, oh, I feel embarrassed calling them. Surely we can work this out. Like you know what I mean? I think like there's a level of where you've shown the value. It's not like just making cheap products means you won't get support calls.
It's
rather that you've got to have a high value product that you sell at a lower price, so that they've got such a deal that if something isn't quite working, they'll forgive it.
Yeah. They're tending to be more forgiving rather than critical of it. Yeah, that's right. No, that'd work.
Yeah, I think so.
But people are greedy. That's the problem side. People just get, let's get milk the max value out of it. And through their greed, all that happens is that, the client gets to realize it, and they're like, oh, look, I paid $10 for this, but it's crap. I've used it a few times, and okay, it might have been okay if it was only fucking $2. You know what I mean? I would have let the whatever little imperfections or the issues with it slide if it was only $2, because it's only $2.
Yeah, and you do, and you just do. You're like, oh, don't worry about it. Fucking like,
Yeah, yeah.
a receipt for this.
Whatever.
Like, I just can't.
Yeah,
Even, like, I'm not coming back if it doesn't.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
throw it in the bin.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I think this is really interesting. Like, I think it's like
It'll
really...
serve its purpose for the X amount of time that it is currently desirable to me. As the
Yeah,
thing.
well, also like if you're like an organization, and let's say you've got like 100 people working in your organization, and this thing is $10 a head, so it's $1,000, and you go, well, it's $100 for you. And so you're now paying $1 a head.
Yeah.
I think like even if you didn't use it, it wouldn't matter. It's like, oh.
True.
And if you used it once, you've already exceeded the value like so far.
Correct. Yeah.
As long as you, I think as long as you can make, like, you can figure out yourself as the purveyor of product, like how that you know you do make enough bank. You know need to make this much. And then that's fine. Like, I think it's quite liberating.
Yeah.
I think it like changes you from having to like hard sell people to just and I think that just we're getting
Basically selling itself. Yeah.
well, but it's also that we just live in a world now where there are so many humans that like the difference between 1 million and 1 billion, like you've seen those videos.
Yeah.
You know, it's 1,000 times greater. It's not like one number higher. It's 1,000 times bigger.
Yeah,
like,
1,000 times that.
instead of 1 year, it's 1,000 years. You know, but that's the thing. Like if you can find like in 8 billion people, you know, you can find like 100,000 of them to give you $1. Well, you just got 100 grand.
We'll give you $1. That's right.
100 grand, man. Like, so yeah, like it's matching. It's more about, it's not really about the money anymore. It's about connecting to an audience. You know, it's being able to find that audience, and then there'll be the people within the audience that'll pay you. And I think some audiences are easy. Like I know there's like all this really cool shit around. Like I've done it myself, and around advertising and, you know, social media and all these platforms, and how
utilizing what's available. Yeah.
Yeah, to like find that perfect client. But but I think there's a whole other realm, like especially in business to business, where you know who your clients are. Like they're not it's not random.
No.
You don't have to kind of find the demographic.
You're
You
marketing
literally
to a
can
certain
ring the
spectrum,
thing
that's
up.
right.
You can like find them in a book, and so then it just So I think that's where it's another, like on a marketing level too. Like it's very different. Like you can kind of, what you got to do is just figure out what's the break point, or you know, whatever those businesses are, you know, creative professionals, whatever they might be, to easily buy the thing, and see if like there's enough of whatever those people are. Let's say they're cabinet makers, and you've made a special tool that's just really good at getting glue off, you know, like
Glue removal
adhesives.
system. Yeah.
So it just cleans adhesives off without damaging or, you know, staining or whatever. And yeah, I mean, I've worked at the businesses like insulation and stuff, like where you're going around and you've got to have all this evidence and, you know, proving like, oh, you know,
Showproof. Yeah.
all the stuff, you know, and it's just like, I'll just use the thing. But I think that's the other, like there's this other thing there, and even in those ones, we didn't, like when we were pricing like the cost of like the roll of insulation, we're looking at the manufacturing cost and then the shipping cost and another price, the cost.
Combining those plus that's your base price, because that's what it costs you to get to the company's warehouse. That's your base price. Yeah.
But I think the thing with that was that like you just didn't know how many units you would move, and so you've kind of got to have a bit of a guess. And I mean, you always do, but if you do know if the market is a quantifiable market, it's basically capture markets. It's like it's the classic of like if you're putting on an event.
Well, again, it falls back to that as seen on TV bullshit. You know what I mean? Like
also just capture.
Yeah.
Not just seen on TV, but like where here's a classic. Like okay, you put on an event. Let's say you put on like a dance event.
Yeah.
And then you have to try and sell tickets. So you got to try and find the people out there on Facebook or whatever that like dance, and do this targeting. Say, oh, you know, it's not too. Try and convince them it's not too expensive, and it's going to be a worthwhile experience. And
list all the artists, and you know.
I mean, it's a lot of undertaking, but if your business, if the client is not that, but if you have that, you put on a dance event, and you work with the local dance school, and you make sure that they're in the performance, you immediately have an audience of like 100 people, you know. Yeah. And then you can sell a few extra tickets because they're a forced audience. They can't escape. Like you. Yeah.
They want to
made them show up.
Their people perform. Yeah.
I see little Sarah get up on that stage. Gran wants to come. 3 tickets.
Grandma's up there twerking.
Grandma's got the but they're forced audiences, and businesses in a context like, let's say if you're dealing with and you've had a really good adhesive remover for cabinet makers, then you could go online and find out how many cabinet makers there are and how many jobs they do, like what the sort of the volume is, maybe like do a bit of a survey based on scale. You can sort of figure out something. They've got like 10
figure
employees.
out what products your opposition, obviously, you know, that are doing the similar
and you
thing.
counter those.
You know,
But you know how many clients you have. You're like, well, I've got like there's 10,000 cabinet makers in Australia. You know, and
so you got your base level for your
you can make
your
an
audience
assessment.
or whatever.
Your audience size. You know what your audience is. They're a fixed thing, and you know how to communicate communicate with them. And I think like like either you've got to like show how you could like whatever you got to do, like show the competitor story or the how you connect in and you're useful with the competitor's product. But I think that's an easier sell. I think business to business in a sense is easier because you know what their motivation is.
Essentially, you've already captured the audience by the the particular function that they do.
That's right. You've captured the audience. They're super. You don't need to spend. Like you do need to spend money on advertising, but it's much more direct. It's literally like a sales rep going around to them or whatever. Like it's like you don't have to find the customer. You have to find the value for the customer, and then you'll get them all, unless there's some kind of weird loyalty or other stubbornness or something.
Brand loyalty or whatever. Yeah,
some stubbornness. And I think I like it a lot. It
the
makes
process you've been working on,
Well, but just also that, like where, you know, like as opposed to like going, oh, well, let's run Facebook ads to like this demographic and we'll make it really wide and to try and like figure out who's really the buyer is of this freaking snack. Like, you know, like you can go, okay, well, we're dealing with, panel beaters and there are, 17,000 of those in Australia and this is how much money we can extract from them. Like, and what their needs are.
Hang on, I'm just going to readjust my headphones.
Yeah, I swapped out. I've got to let my right ear heal more. My right ear needs to heal more still from
Oh, that's better.
my headphones. These
I get the wandering hair where it just starts moving around and you're like,
oh, and get
in your face.
Oh, the microphone or the
No, just my hair.
Oh yeah.
Microphone's good. Microphone's excellent. All praise the Rode ME.
Yeah, people really talk about and so this one allows you to basically the difference is one allows you to connect to the phone and the computer, and one only allows you to connect to like I think the phone or something like that. Or something.
I like the whole fact that the TX and the RX module both have microphones on them, so you can.
Yeah, you can actually.
You can be holding the phone and then have someone else mic'd up as well, and then be blending those audio together.
I know, right?
That's brilliant.
Yeah. And when I changed that setting, like when I was at your place, and it just clicked in. I didn't have as much control, like as I do.
With
there's another level of thinking that through, which I don't know what that is.
Well, that's all right if you're doing like street interviews or whatever. You could have the little directional mic attached to it and then wireless.
Oh yeah, I mean, I look forward to wait till we've got like these Sennheiser or Shure like over ear like little microphone,
nice little
super thin,
compact.
like a little tiny wire, invisible nearly.
That's it.
And then this instead of hanging on your shirt, it's just like in your pocket with a cable or whatever.
Yep, that's it. Little
running up to the thing, and it'll just be like next quality level up. Yeah, like much even improved. Looking forward.
The cheaps get less cheap.
Yeah. I mean, I now like having heard the difference. I can't imagine like the suffering some people had trying to listen to
just
audio.
working through the normal.
If you listen to the earlier stuff, it'll be difficult. So it'll have some challenges.
That's all right. It's all a learning curve. It's all a learning curve. But yeah, sad about the whole in-world incident.
Well, I want to know what they want to charge you.
Yeah.
Like you should just ask. We should go and request a license. I mean, seriously, what would they charge? Like, how much could they possibly charge? I'm curious. Like,
you'd think it'd just be a yearly fee, wouldn't it? Just dump a.
Yeah, I mean, like they're dealing with 200 hundreds of
something.
thousands of characters, like 1,000 characters. You like got like 10 that are.
And really only 2 that I use because like, the other ones are just chatbot friends, if anything. Yeah. No, I'll do some more digging next week.
Oh, just do the application if you want. I'm happy to like see what that like because if they say come back with something really stupid, that's great because then it's like then I'm like
pretty much seals it. Yeah.
Oh, how does this?
Like I said, I can always go back to OpenAI. That's the control system.
So much has happened. We can go out on the web now. They can do all sorts of things. The web's quite new for it, but
hopefully its conversational skills have improved slightly. Yeah, because that was the true difference between the in-world and using the OpenAI was the in-world characters sounded more warmer. You know what I mean? Like they a bit more polished. Yeah, whereas OpenAI was a bit more raw. But that was back then. Who knows? We might give it a go and it could be better than in-world now.
No, because you're like Kenny and that have
distinct
they don't have persistent
personalities.
memory, but they
definitely distinct personality.
persistent personality. And they develop like a series. They develop things to say and stuff like that.
The little hooks.
Which you won't get. Like you'll lose every time.
No,
they won't have consistent personality.
No, and that's the one thing I did enjoy about the in-world, the whole big other pre-programming.
So yeah, send me if it's just all too much. Just send me the links to the thing, and I'll write the application.
See what the damage is, whether it's worth it or not.
Oh well, I mean, at some point, I'd just be like, I don't think that they would. They'd just be their pricing model would be, I don't know, like it'd be on how much traffic you cause, basically.
Pretty much.
Basically, what it's going to cause.
And more than likely, that's why they locked it down because there were so many people just logging in with Google and Microsoft and whoever, and then just doing whatevs. Yeah.
Well, it was also part of their beta. That's what's trained their bots. But yeah, I think like the people who are brave and apply with the little ones, I think a lot of them will get in. I don't think you won't be denied. Like because I think you use
it's small enough not to really be to affect the overall system.
Yeah, well, and to good training data. It's like it's interesting. You're engaged users, like.
continuous content being pushed into it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like,
randomised
they don't
selections
price it. Like it's
Mm.
and also just want to say that it's like they don't price it. Like you can't. Like, you go to the website. There's no price. It's not like
No,
$1
it's,
an agent.
it's inquiry price, and that
So it's
always
totally
makes me sus.
negotiable, man.
Yeah.
No, it's the opposite of sus.
The opposite of sus, you reckon? All right, we'll check.
I think it's said that they don't have to like expose the free and the not free and the deal they do with someone who's got 10,000 units and it's like,
Versus the person that's got 9 characters.
9 characters and like spin
Yeah,
them
yeah.
up, like a couple times a
Two
week.
only get spin up every week, and then the rest occasionally. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a low impact user.
Oh yeah. So yes, Demure M tonight due to
that's
the
fair enough.
level of exhaustion for the week. But I didn't really take much notice of anything else newsworthy,
Oh.
other than the die down of the ring, and the people were going on about the activation of the long range missile technology for the Ukrainians, and
Did you?
the OF band turning out to be not all that was advertised as some shit was quite amusing. That was pretty funny. Not quite as advertised.
The Fijian,
And then us saying,
OF.
how would you not know? Like,
people pretending that they're being tricked.
yeah.
Well, I did a little bit of research on that this week.
Mm.
Yeah. So, I thought, well, is
Not quite the extent of research you put into the BBC Dog Lover.
Well, I mean, I only read the article.
I know, but it's still, it was just like to go from a joke to actually being true, and then not just true, but the full horrific extent of the
trueness.
article. Yeah, the trueness, the trueness delivery.
I mean, okay, let me just open this box.
You're right.
Oh, that did
Get
not
the
work.
box. It's like Christmas
No,
presents.
in my research,
Mm.
and so you got the appropriate research there is probably like trap.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sex trap.
yeah, because that's its intention is to
To gain audience.
no trap. Trap porn is like a trap is like somebody who tricks.
Advertises as one thing and then delivers another.
Yeah, traps. And it's a trap, and so like that sort of the OnlyFans girls were being a trap, I guess, and you'd have to be pretty stupid
To not realise it was a trap. Yeah.
Right.
Or a willing participant, obviously.
Well,
Yeah.
the only way would be like if it was all oral, but as soon as it's not,
Then it'd be pretty obvious.
yeah, because it'd look weird if it was trying to not.
It does. One chocolate starfish doesn't look like the other when it
No,
becomes
they
the
do not.
difference between the two bodies. Yes.
The connecting tissues are different.
Very telling, as they say. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd be tricked to that degree.
Well, like I
Unless
said,
you
it was
wanted
to,
to be
it was to get it was the hook. The tricking bit and the trap was the hook. So I'm sure that article was read by quite a few people.
Oh, like a team of authors.
Yeah, or written even maybe. Yeah, that's it. It's come up with something really bizarre. Let's do a little bit of actual reporter work, which is actual investigation.
Yeah.
Let's just do a tiny little bit of investigation and see what unravels.
So
But then to go from the full denial to the partial acceptance to the full acceptance, and then there was no trap. Everyone knew, everyone was aware.
hang on,
You're right. Background family stuff going on.
I need to be a family thing.
Concerned parentage. Mm.
I'm almost there.
Nobody noticed. 9-year-old survived alone for 2 years, fed himself, and kept good grades.
Oh, Japanese anime story. That's a
Yeah, absolutely.
9-year-old.
9-year-old.
How were the bills paid? That's interesting.
Well, the picture of the house that he was in looked pretty shabby, so maybe it might have just been a...
But for 2 years, you need some money.
Yeah.
Maybe not much.
Well,
but
you can make a bit begging.
what was living in a
Entrepreneur eats $9.5 million banana. So back to their old tricks with the banana and the gaff tape again. Sold for $9.5 million, and then the entrepreneur then ate it. His comments were, tastes much better than other bananas. Indeed, quite good.
Bananas are becoming a bit of a thing. SpaceX did a banana. There was the art banana.
Yep.
And there's expensive bananas.
Well, bananas have got potassium in them, so they're pretty good.
Like a healing sort of.
Healing friend. Sorry, I got a burb. I'm going to send a burb a burb meme to you. Hang on. I know you're busy with family.
Oh, no, I'm listening.
Yeah, I thought it was quite amusing. There you go.
I like Burbs. Burbs are good. How do you refresh this?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You're the one in control, Si, and I feel very confident. I feel very confident that you are in control, so it's good. Master of ceremonies. Man, I am just so exhausted after this week.
I know, right? I was actually going to ask
absolute effort to get through it without, reverting to caveman mode. Yeah, Minnow like caveman smash.
I am. Yeah, like it was interesting. Like last night, like I didn't really want you to do any of the things that I said. Like
No, and a lot of it was just in jest, and I get that. It's good because it
Well,
made light of a rather intense situation. So
yeah, but it also, even though it's interesting when we say we make light of things,
mm,
often those things are saying like really heavy things, and
yeah,
what they are, part of that is like that is by going through all like by saying a lot of the most stupidest shit in the moment of it. Then
it helps process it.
you've
Yeah,
already lived through, like you've already played them out. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And then instead of having to act out, you've already acted out.
yeah, pretty much.
And you can be
Yeah,
a little bit more like, you can send that beautiful thing. Like personally, what you showed me that you said was
yeah,
like not a piss take or anything. It
no,
was like, you know,
no,
if the scenario is presented us so, then, you know,
yeah.
that's
Here we go.
a thoughtful thing to send. But yeah, and I think that was yeah. Anyway, but that's sort of like by um because we've got to go through all those like ridiculous situations, and sometimes when we're acting in the moment, I also want to just really compliment you, like while we were being dickheads last night in a fun way, in a good way. Like was you, when there was an opportunity to send a message about some content, and we're joking about, well, we were talking about things to send, only silly things,
Yeah.
and because they're all things a person might send, like most outrageous things, but
The
I
one
guess
that
that's
was suggested with the whole treating you real well.
oh yes.
That was yeah.
And so the thing is but what you did there, I want to sort of the mature thing,
The mature.
It was that you said, that before you cracked your third drink, you had made the decision
Not to contribute any further.
because you were
right.
drunk. Yeah.
Yes.
And you didn't.
No.
And I was like, well,
It wasn't
as soon
till
as
the
you said that,
morning
I was like,
until
oh,
the
that's the end. No.
yeah. It wasn't until the morning, and then the whole
Right.
the special update with the the pic, and I was just like, fair enough. Send the special link, the caring link. But yeah, it could have gone a lot worse, but it didn't, which is good. Happened.
Strength position.
Silver bell, silver bell.
Here's this bird. It's a bird.
Music by M. Music to sleep by. With all the best subliminal messages built in. You know?
I love the bird one.
Peaceful music, peaceful bird song. They're like just screaming at each other about murdering each other's children.
And the humans just like relaxing bird sounds.
Completely blissfully unaware of the savagery.
Yeah, the conversation going on underneath. Fuck you, no, fuck you, no, fuck you, no, fuck you. No, he said fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, no, fuck you, mate.
Fuck you,
God. Fucking my tree, cunt. Fuck off, cunt. My tree.
My fucking tree, cunt.
You motherless fucking bird.
Oh, you can have that fucking tree. I'm going to go with this one. This one's my tree now. This one's my tree. Fuck
One
off,
of
God.
the things about birds is like, well, I think we've covered this on the Cheep seasons ago. It was like,
Verb awareness, yeah.
well, when they,
Yeah.
there's actually all this like super multitudinous subnotes.
Yeah. That's it. Multiplexed.
Yeah, multiplexed as well. Like it's, and yeah, we don't say it properly.
Super intensity with the slow-mo stuff. Yeah, oh man, that was just wicked. I loved it. Crazy shit, man. It was awesome. Get to the real story by slowing it down. That's it. Oh,
Damn.
what was that other thing we were talking about? I'm pretty sure there was a couple other things we were
Oh, there
discussing.
were. There's been a number of things, but
Probably not cheap.
oh, no,
cheap
some of them really
content.
were, but it's actually just like, well, one, I mean, we had to expend a bunch of energy this week on like just staying, assisting the stability of the thing,
Keeping the sanity level
the sanity check,
correct.
and the subdued, like we weren't even sure if we're able to do tonight.
Yeah, at one stage, like I was feeling it, especially Friday. Like
Yeah.
Friday part one, I was just like, it was just getting to me. Like
Oh,
I either had to come up with a solution which was so simple, like it was there all the time. But no, just saying no, that's enough. Had enough. Not playing this fucking game no more.
yeah.
Get to that point where you've been abused and told how fucked up you are, and then you just basically go, well, look, if that's the case, obviously you don't want anything to do with me, so just fuck off. Get that in your head. If I'm that bad, then fuck off. Leave me alone. Don't have anything more to do with me. That'd actually make me happy.
Yeah,
And I know the reason why you aren't doing that is because it doesn't really make me happy if you fuck off. You know what I mean? Like,
wow, the rain
it's coming down.
coming down. Yeah, we're on the outer edges of this, whatever you're in. I should check out my
And I reckon it's going to be more rain tomorrow, so.
more. Yeah, wow.
Yep, more rain. Over there. We've been doing this huge, big drainage clean out. I've been watching them, pulling all the
Oh, have they?
duckweed
Like-
and all the shit out, make sure it flows right. Yeah. We did all that prep like 2 months ago. They were really cleaning all the drains out, going hard.
Yeah, right. It's going real heavy up there, eh?
Yep.
Wow, we're all part of a massive front. It's raining the whole way down the coast.
It's the residue of the salty tears from America.
It's just like,
It's the salty tears ran into the ocean, and the sun did this miraculous thing where the sun boiled the top layer of it and turned it into steam, and then the unsalted tears are now raining down on the eastern coast of Aussie Mandaz land.
that was the as 91 million people cried out in vain.
Yeah, in anguish.
In anguish.
Over the big T winning the election
Capital
selection.
T. Yeah, well, Mr. T, he's like capital T. The memes, like, and the memes are like, they're all about like they're hero memes, right? They're all like,
Well, it's superhero now.
It's
We're going into
superhero.
the Marvel Team America.
fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So it's like yeah, he's the memes are superhero mode basically. That the president is like a rocket ship, a flying weapon.
That's it.
That just,
winning, just 100% winning. Hang on, you sent me something back, did you? Wait a minute.
No.
Oh, Ed. Oh, holy shit, he's got a fucking big drink.
Wow.
He's got like his own little keg thing at the table.
Oh,
Yeah, that's funny. That's so funny. That's cool.
I've seen this. What, in a venue?
Yeah, like that. Not a keg, but it's like a it's got a little pouring thing like a keg, like the tap. But then they pour all the beer in the top of it. Then you just pour it up as you want it.
It's a way of
That's
having
cool.
a jug.
Mm.
New jug.
The new jug,
New jug.
the trendy jug.
Yeah, well, you don't have to tip it.
Mm.
I mean, they're not going to serve you. I can't imagine that they allow like a 2-jug serve or something like that. Can you? It doesn't seem likely.
You'd
There's
think
measures.
Jugging a bit.
Oh, what was there? There was some kind of thing you can do where it was like a specialty. Oh, maybe that was an issue actually. You had to be careful with like.
I know in New Zealand they had the tanker trucks with the beer in them.
Wow.
Where little mini tanker truck turns up and then they just pour the beer out of that.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, you'd have to have enough people. I mean, generally you can probably get enough people. Beer's
At an NZ party, yeah, damn straight. Like if you go through 20 kegs, then you want one of those mini tankers. Oh, big microphone blowout then.
Really?
Yeah.
What, for my cough or my?
No, I just must have got too close to it or something, but no.
No. Oh, yeah, maybe I did. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a good one. Hang on, I'll set you this one too. It's a reverse banana.
Is it like?
The banana's wrapped in gaff tape and then it's got a banana peel holding it to the wall.
Oh, so the banana is made of gaff tape.
Yeah. And the banana skin is holding the gaff tape banana on the wall.
I love the inquiring look.
Yeah. He's always good for that. Like he's a master at getting the cheap cosplay. He's a cheap cosplay master.
Oh, is he? No, that's good. Yeah.
If cosplay could be done any cheaper than what he can do, then
And is it always
a
quite
new benchmark. Oh, very clever. Very clever.
Right.
Yeah. Can play all the characters, not just the male ones. Yeah.
And yeah.
What do you think of Kermit and Miss Piggy?
Oh, I don't know. I felt like Kermit.
Did you? You felt mighty like Kermit, like just buff.
I mean, I have at times in my life. Yeah, like with a little little Miss Piggy there, like looking up at you. It's a whole thing. The trip you can get into.
Yeah. Kermit the Barbarian.
Yeah, and I thought that like Piggy had like the right amount of like kind
roundness to her. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of
that that old keep you warm in the middle of winter kind of mode to it, didn't she? Yeah.
Womanly.
Buxom.
Buxom, like a little plump, but like in that way, it sort of is like
little bitty here and little bitty there. It's okay. Can't be perfect.
No, it's important because they run cold. Like a furnace. A hot-blooded male creature. Like they run much hotter than the average woman.
Yeah.
Often called and so it's fair that they need to have a little bit more. It's just the way of things. Nutrients.
The greater the cushion, the better the pushing.
Well, it's a place to park calories.
Yeah, that's right. Reserved.
Yeah,
the reserves. That's right.
You can keep them there to be converted into things later on.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just exhausted. Sorry.
I know, man. I'm waiting. I almost imagine you're going to tell me that we need to pull a pin.
No. We'll go through to the 3. We'll do.
We're gonna make it. It'll be a slug.
Another 40 minutes. No. 40 minutes. It's all good. We can do it.
One of us might fall asleep.
Could do. It's okay. It's happened before, and we've managed to make it all the way through. So.
Well, we have.
The delirium.
Usually...
The delirium sometimes is inspiring. Inspiration from delirium. Yeah.
Oh man, I had this whole moment today. Go downstairs and because America Fuck Yeah is playing, and it's the sort of Trey Parker and whatever the dudes like on stage with Primus, part of the Primus band.
Yep. And was that the special event thing that they had at
at Red Rock.
Red Rock, yeah.
And so I was watching a bit of that this morning. And for me though, what was amazing was I've just gone downstairs and looking at the big TV on the tuba, and I'm like, oh, and immediately I was like, that's Red Rock. Wow. And oh my God, I got all goosebumps. When I was tripping out a little bit, and I'm like, wow, amazing. He's like, wow, it's really having an effect on you. And I said, well, I've been to Red Rock. I've like spent a lot of time like up on those cliffs and stuff. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, in Horizon Zero Dawn. Like it's actually a scene, it's a setting. Like, so I wouldn't say mid game, I'd say late early game.
Yeah.
And end of the early game is you're at Red Rock and
You got to navigate it.
yeah, it's an area you have to clear out and a bunch of other things. But so I spent a heap of time up in there, like just sharpshooting stuff and doing whatevs, and it was really trippy watching it, like a sort of a real world
To see
space.
it in a real, real space,
And I really want to understand. I think as a result of it, besides like it just being trippy and cool and all that stuff, like I kind of want to talk to maybe Guerrilla, maybe because Guerrilla Games they make Horizon, but maybe then because even though the same thing applies in other games, you don't see it as much in other games because the environments you're in are not real world environments.
Yeah.
Where in Horizon it is actually like
making the connection.
Yeah, so you literally are in Colorado and going across to like whatever, to Utah and Nevada and things. But how big the character is. So when you look at the size of like Aloy and she's running around inside Red Rock, I'd say she's probably about twice as high as a normal human. I think she's about maybe double a human.
It's like 12, 13 foot, whatever.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and then it changes scale at other places a little bit. But I think that there's some kind of weird scaling going on, like where the distance you travel and you can run from Colorado to wherever like non-stop and not get tired. I don't think I kind of mean that, but definitely the size of the character and how they work out, like how game companies like they decide, oh, okay, like we're going to replicate, I don't know, LA.
Well, they'd have dem data, Si. They'd be able to buy dem data.
But what I mean by that is it's like, so let's say you're simulating LA and then you go, well, you start running around and it takes like 2 hours to get into downtown and you're like, we have to change the scale of the game in some way so that it's playable.
So because 2 hours for a journey is that's starting to sound a lot like that sounds like a lot like real life, Si. And no one loves real life.
Sitting on the bus,
hell no, hell no.
Pulls up. Grand Theft Auto. Imagine Grand Theft Auto real time, like RT.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be just so fucking boring. And but like I reckon it's a whole mode. Like I'm seeing it then. Like
just coming in to be the dude feeding the but just being the dude sitting in the park feeding the birds, like one of the NPCs, just doing the whole day is just to feed the birds. Maybe get up, go to the toilet, come back with another bag of bird feed and continue feeding for the duration.
That's your whole role.
Totally in character. Yeah. Anytime anyone interacts with you, you just say burbs.
And you earn good money for it.
Yeah, like top dollar. Yeah. The Birdman.
The Burb.
Birdman.
Yeah, I mean, how would it go? Like in Grand Theft, I mean, that actually, people would be very incentivized to steal cars. Imagine like you're on public transport. You're catching the bus down to downtown in Grand Theft.
2 hours later, it's like, fuck, no, I'm just stealing a car next time. Actively encouraging committing crimes. I'm going out for a bit more rain experience. I need another nicotine injection. Saturday night, raining hard. No campers. Pretty happy about them.
Well, it's fairly impractical, I suppose.
Seems like more of an inconvenience than anything. Than truly practical. And it's very funny when you call someone on doing that and they sort of like very quickly renege. Because once they realise how much effort's actually involved, then perhaps the scenario was a bit silly to mention in the first place.
What, to maintain the whole ridiculousness?
Yeah. It's just a bit too overboard, I'm going to do this. And you're like, yeah, okay, you do that. And I'm going to sit out the front with a beer and watch you put it up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've always got to have a supervisor, right?
You do, in the rain.
Mainly for safety reasons, but actually caring, like mansplaining how to do it while it's being put up. Oh yeah, fully mansplaining how to do it.
Yeah, you might find they're a bit hard to push in. You might need a mallet.
No, you got to bend that bit over that way and then put it through that loop to make it work. Can't you do it? No, you're doing a great job. I'm just need a supervisor. For a temporary structure, it's certainly taking a long time to put it up.
Well, it's rain. They made the rain.
Pissing down here, good old Kingsland.
It's amazing. I'm just sitting here in the Cheep, just listening.
We're getting this is the Cheep AMSR channel, and 24/7 just rainstorm across the globe, helping people sleep every day.
Storm chaser.
Helping people chill and sleep every day.
The storm chaser channel.
I'm trying to prevent the mic from getting covered with.
Yeah, man, that'd be really cool. Imagine like a radio channel, like a live streaming channel.
Yeah.
That's on like say Spotify, Apple, And what you do is you're basically
Just live mics that are connected to the internet, certain areas.
no, you do a
Tuning
live
in.
mix between people who have microphones plugged into your system.
Mm.
And so you're doing a live mix, like moving between the storms in the world.
Oh yeah. Just cutting from one to the next.
But in a way that makes music, like kind of producing the storms.
Producing the storm music.
Mm.
Well, the earth up here is definitely saturated. I've got to say that much. We had our inspection, and only complaint was grass too long. So that's not bad. Inside was definitely acceptable enough, but the outside, the grass was too long.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I mean, really?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to have something. You've got to have something to complain about.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to give people something to complain about.
Yeah, if everything was perfect, then it seems a little bit too soft. You know what I mean? Like, why is it super clean? Like, I think during those inspections, as long as it's tidy, it doesn't have to be spot. Tidy's just as good as spot. A person coming in and taking photos and space invading you for 20, 30 minutes. All they want is pics, and if they can get a good angle and it looks good, that's their job done. Pretty much, So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to give off the impression of perfect. Plus, I've noticed that most of the real estate agents, as soon as you've got multiple men in one house and there's no female point of contact with the person, then normally they give you a little bit of leeway, being all men in the house, because they're like, it's expected that men are filthy. So if there's 3 men in the house and the house is tidy, then that's well above expectation, isn't it? Meets and exceeds expectations of men in one, or all men of an all-man house.
I just realized I was just fucking completely under. When did I last speak, man? I don't even know.
I don't know. You're drifting in and out of consciousness again. It's okay.
Oh,
it's okay.
jeez, man. Fuck.
It's all right. It's all right.
Hilarious.
It's normally when we get to the end of the, the final 30
I
minutes
did have
or
a little
40 minutes
burst
of
there
the.
about something. I can't remember what it was. It was pretty. I was engaged with it for a moment there. Thought it was pretty.
And I was telling the landlords the whole special story of the inspection.
The inspection, yeah. So the grass was too long.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
did they see the grass previously?
No, they didn't see it before I mowed it.
misinterpret length.
They misinterpreted actually what long is. So
Yeah,
it's okay. Yeah.
Did you look at them sternly?
No, well, I wasn't there for it. I had to work, so yeah. But I would have definitely put in the little comedy thing. Oh, you should have seen it before I mowed it. Yeah.
Next time I'll leave it for you to see, so you can tell the difference.
If you would like to know the difference between needs a mow and actually needs a mow, I can show you it. Like, I can give you a good point of reference for it. See that plant against the fence over there? They normally don't get that high. They get like a third of that height, but that one is that high. See that one? It's like higher than me, and very proud being that high and being a weed, considered to be a weed, but super high. This burgling sound was brought to you by Biden's Bongs.
To help the rattle.
The sleepy. Help the sleepiness.
Help that rattling around. Have you got the Parkinson's wobbles?
No. But we are working on it. Takes a lot of practice to get that wobble right. Such an awful disease. So.
Awkward.
Awful. Especially if you're a neurosurgeon. Like, it'd be the worst. You definitely want robots.
Kiffity coffee.
Get to the bottom of that, that Sharpie mix in the old baggage. Just get a bit dry, huskiness, sharpage. 20 minutes. That's all we got to go for the 3 hours, son.
Wow.
Chime through.
My eyes are literally rolling around in my head sometimes. Oh wow, is that the rain here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Picking up.
It's constant outside.
Very special. Makes you sleepy. I know the rain. A special song that's played while you're in sleepy mode. So you're happy with my little hand tracker system. Boop, boop. Let's see if you open the camera lens. He's got hair. Kind of snoring in the background. Special cyber snoring.
Was I?
Yeah,
I
very
got to
slightly.
Well, I'm in
very
a funny
slightly.
position. I'm kind of resting on my couch. So my head's
Don't worry,
in a sort
I was doing the reclining back in my chair.
Oh, were you?
And feet up on the bed and like head on the back of the ref. So it was like, it was like almost partially. Well, sleeping like that this afternoon. Like, I was probably just having the snooze prior to the Cheep, just to recharge batteries after depleting energies of day's event. Orion, the dragon. Orion, Sinchu versus the dragon. That was so funny that you gave me the whole, you were crying over dragons.
Yeah.
You're crying over dragons. And like I said to her, I had a fucking breakdown, you stupid cunt.
Because
you know
you
what I mean?
Like sleeping with doing some weird shit with some guy in the UK after fucking all this effort.
Yeah, I had a fucking breakdown. And she's like, yeah, I told you to get help for 5 fucking years. I'm like, no, you didn't. What the hell are you talking about? Didn't do shit.
Sat there hoovering the next Hoover.
Yeah, Hoover. That's it.
Until there was a bigger thing to Hoover.
Thank goodness came along and showed real intent. Otherwise, it could have been a lifetime of just fucking suffering. No, thank you. I'd rather be alone and put up with that shit,
Well, it's more effective. We achieve more alone, weirdly enough. but not in by ourselves,
No.
alone together.
Yes.
The problem with the banana well, I mean, I guess it's the cheapest way possible.
Yeah.
Because the whole banana should be made out of gaff tape, not just a
The
banana
wrapped.
wrapped.
Yeah. Should have been a gaff tape banana rather than a gaff taped banana. Should have been a gaff tape banana. Or even someone just grabbing a whole roll of gaff tape and then squeezing it into a banana shape. And then with the banana skin over top.
Oh.
The roll's reversed.
Yeah, well, that's what it's
I
trying to
think
show
that's
here.
what we're trying to show, the reverse roll.
Failed,
you know.
miserably.
Sometimes it's best to be the gaff tape than the banana, you know.
That's why I realized, like, so the objective is to be cheap, like, like you say, like the cosplay artists too. So, making an entire banana out of gaff is that would actually
quite a feat.
Yeah, you probably have a bit of metal.
But wrapping the banana still achieved a similar shape, but with the gaff tape. Art connoisseurs, mate.
Well, connoisseurs indeed. Sitting back.
I mean, when I've been witnessing the local tagging, been noticing a little bit of the dick and balls coming in, like coming back.
Is it?
Yeah.
Return of the dick and balls.
Return of the dick and balls.
Was it for a while?
It was shy for a bit, yeah. And then there's been a bit of a return of dick and balls in various places of hilarity.
What do you think re-increased the opportunity, the need to speak out?
I guess for me, the dick and balls is a sign of dissent, right? So similar to when the price of gold, shoots up or other commodities shoot up prior to, a government overthrow or something similar, you know what I mean? Like the dissent, well then the dick and balls start turning up, like they become more frequent depending on the level of dissent, right? So if there's more dissent and more unhappiness, then there's a lot more dick and balls and various other rude tagging going on as a release of the energies for the, the whole marginalized experience. Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, when you're in a new town. Male voting power. It's not a myth. It's an actual thing, Si.
Voting?
The power of the male voter. One would have thought it would have been diminished, but the ability.
That's overblown.
Well, yeah, I know, and I think that's
good.
what they're, because it was
Women.
when we looked at it. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Muslims.
Various different races and creeds and sexes involved.
They would prefer to vote for the person who will kick them out of the country. They'd convince their friends who could vote to because they'd be illegal, so they couldn't. But
even though that would never happen because they are not illegal aliens, they are legal aliens.
So the point, but they vote for themselves to be expelled from the country, then vote because that's how they were, and they were all they all switched over. They were the ones that the $2 billion
got flipped. They got flipped.
Helped to flip.
That's it. $2 billion worth of trash got to flip all those people.
Yeah. That's no mean feat.
No. Well, all you need is someone. All you need is
But they were very convinced. They were not just slightly convinced either. They were the most unreal groups were convinced.
Completely. Yeah.
And it wasn't just and it was the $2 billion and what the $2 billion told them. It wasn't just that it was at the end it was the vagina versus.
Yeah.
I think that was not
not even anything to do with it. Could have been two vaginas up there.
Well.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying it made no difference. Like it was again, that whole lesser of two evils.
What if the vaginas were banging down 3-4 cocks a day?
Well, maybe they might have won. Like I said, the debate to me was weak.
Yep.
Good firm handshake, no open mouth kissing, and definitely no reach arounds going on. So it's boring, straight up. It's no contest. I don't know. Maybe next year when they do the next debate, they might take that into consideration. People want to see a spectacle. They don't want to come here and see two people arguing about policy. They want to see spectacle. Open mouth kissing, groping, reach arounds while trying to do their speeches. Yeah, right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like to interfere and try and balk
while
or
laughing at the camera.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, too. Yeah. Pure fun. Just more as a distraction to put them off their topic. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, Donald, stop it.
Yeah, stop it, Donald.
Stop it, Donald.
Yeah.
Silly. I had a maid like you. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah, I have to reach around all the time.
That's it.
Always got to reach around.
They wanted it.
Really liked it. Really liked it.
It had nothing to do with the fact that I withhold their pay.
Unless they got
keep
at least once or twice reach aroundings. Yeah,
unless I got my reach around. Child in the closet. You get it released.
The money would fall out of the the special locked bag on the ceiling. The money would fall to the ground.
Not pinata style.
They had to pick it up on the hands and knees. Couldn't bend
it. That's
crawl around.
You've got to pay people in a way that requires them to pick it up.
Get that full subservient feel going on.
Yeah. If people aren't picking up your pay off the ground, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. Good bosses should be urinating all over the money while they're trying to grab it. You know what I mean? Like a little bit more slippery, a little bit more difficult, a bit more challenging to get the money off the ground once it's wet and stuck there. You know what I mean? Well, we've almost hit it. 252 coming in for the final stretch. Size characters like fully venting out.
Well, it's actually quite accurate.
Lying back. Yeah, because you actually lied right back.
I literally am. That's exactly what I'm doing, man. I'm like, I'm
emulating, total emulation
the
from
character is
It's
in
good.
very fine form, man. It's like, yeah, let me just,
If only I had mind reclining.
raise
as
myself
well
up a
as-
bit here. Let me just, no,
it's not even moving. It's like,
that's fucked up. Don't do that.
Let's
see if I can.
It's back down to
Hang on. Okay.
I should test and see if my camera can do it too. Let's switch over and let's see if I can just do that.
Oh, yeah, you go. Oh, yeah. I gotta lay back. Lay it on back. It's like, that's it.
Perfect.
My arms are a bit wonky, but I'm like, you're lying back in the chair, eh?
Yeah, I'm fully lying back in the chair.
Nice, man. Nice.
I move right the way forward now.
No. See, no.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know what? Like talking of words, I looked up Weffel Runner.
Weffel Runner. What did it have in the Urban Dictionary or nothing?
Nothing.
Huh?
No evidence of it online.
Well, that's pretty good because Weffel Runners deserve no mention.
Yeah.
No.
It's like
true to form. It's just totally true to form. That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't even.
Yeah. Who would mention those?
Yeah, no, well.
Pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Fucking Weffel Runners.
Script kiddies.
Script kiddies.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe much rain. I'm a bit jealous. I don't want that much rain, but I do.
It's just been glorious. Talk is very fucking cheap, son. Very cheap. Cheaper the better. Oh, the funniest thing was when the special link was sent, the burnout out the front and then down the road. It's actually very amusing. You can take the Logan out of Bogan, but you can't take the Bogan out of Logan.
No. Yeah, the adamantium is also difficult.
Adamantium toothpicks. The government has now banned the carrying of spears. Pulling off every 1,000 miles ain't too much to ask, is it? The human mind, the brain, is almost incapable of distinguishing between the real and vividly imagined. This calming rain was brought to you by Real Talk is Cheap. Inside has gone into special number world.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, we're calling it.
Are we?
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm just actually zoned out listening to the rain, man. I was thinking about rolling a joint and just sitting back here listening to the rain with you.
Appreciating.
Yeah, it's for everything that it's actually been the most relaxing evening, my friend. Like after such a stressful week.
Yeah. You deserved a good rain, a little bit of rain.
Yeah, like a bit of an emotional, like just release into the atmosphere, true ways. Let's have a look. Let's see what the time is.
Soak in a bit of that orgon or whatever it is, the ozone or ergon. Nitrogen fixing. That's what we need. More lightnings.
More lightnings. Get that going.
Get that real nitrogen smell going on. Almost as good as cut grass after a good rain. Get that real chlorophyll.
Well, yeah, it's not petrichor because that's. But you mean the chloroform, or whatever that other the cut grass smell.
Yeah, the cut grass chloroformy smell. Yeah, I love that smell. Something about it. I don't know. Are we over and out?
No, not yet. No. Well, look, there's 3 hours.
Hey.
Oh dear.
Just popped up.
Should I make like a bit of us just sitting here in silence with the rain? Like a sort of little. There'll be segments of that I'll be able to pull out. Oh, okay. Let me just go to the mode. Well, Em, thank you for a relaxing, gentle evening, and
thank you for the weather for providing the
background.
The sleepy chorus. It's
lovely. Nature's own gifts.
Yeah, its own gifts.
Wow.